Assalamu alaikum everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Sharmin Rahman, your English language teacher from Standard 6, Campus 1. I hope you all are well at home by the blessings of Almighty Allah. I will suggest you not to go out, stay home, stay safe, and please look after your elder ones so that they can also be safe. Okay, so let's get started. Today we are going to discuss about the grammar part on chapter 10, which is past tense, right? So the worksheets will be given on 28 and 29, and you will be solving this by looking at this video. It will be helpful for you to solve the worksheets. So let's begin. The formats. So before I move on the structures, I want you to recall it, the formats which I discussed in class, and I also given a detail sheet over it, right? So it's a short part of your detail sheet, so you can recall it, right? So the forms which were like this base form, the past form, we know it, and the past participle form. These are the verb forms we have to carry for this tense topic, right? So the base form, I have suggested you to mark it as V1, which is our verb 1, right? And here the past form, I have told you to write as verb 2, V2, and the past participle form we will write V3. Okay, it will be easier to recall it, to go through with the structure. So the examples are given here, like be verb. When we will use the base form of be verb into past form, we will write was, where, was or where, and past participle form we will write been. So the terms like be, was, where, and been. Beat, the verb, in past form it will be beat, no replacement, it will be the same, and past participle it will be beaten. And the verb become, it becomes, became, and past participle it became again become, began, began, begun. So the verse goes on. So you have the detail sheet, please just revise it and recall it. Okay, so let's move on to the structures. First, simple past. We know that every tense have the 4 classifications. So past tense also have 4 classifications. So the first one is simple past, and the structure of simple past. Before starting with the simple past, I want to give you a short definition. Simple past talks about an action that has already taken place in the past, right? So the structure of simple past is subject plus verb, which will be the form of past form, plus object plus etc. The example is given here. Look at it, the screen. She washed her car. Here washed is the past form of wash, right? So next move on to past continuous tense. Here past continuous tense refers that to an action that was going on certain period of time in the past. It was going on, it was in continuous tense, right? So the structure of past continuous tense is subject plus was or were, to be verb. Our auxiliary verb will be was or were, plus the main verb. With the main verb we will add ing because it's continuous tense, plus object plus etc. The example is, she was watching the news when I called her last night. So the event took place in the past, which was in continuous term, right? She was watching the news when I called her last night. Moving on to past perfect tense. So our third classification of past tense. So the structure or subject is structure is subject plus had. Look at the screen, please. Had, subject plus had and plus verb, and the form will be in past participle, which I told you to use V3, verb 3, plus object plus etc. Example, he had established his company before 2005. Here, had established. Look at the structure and look at the example. Had and the verb in past participle, established, ed, right? So next, moving on to our last classification of past tense, which is past perfect continuous tense. Here perfect and continuous tense, so both are here. So what we will do, the structure, subject Had, with the had we have added here been. So the subject structure begins like this: subject plus had been plus with the main verb we will add ing because it's continuous. I told you before, plus object plus etc. So the structure begins like this: subject plus had been plus verb with ing and object plus etc. Example: Tony had been waiting there for more than 2 hours. Look at the screen again with example: Tony had been waiting there for more than 2 hours. Here I would like to add that in past perfect continuous you will find a duration, a period of time. I told you before about it. In present tense, like present tense, right? In present perfect continuous, which indicates an action that began in the past and continued up to the present. But here in the past perfect continuous is a verb tense that indicates something that began in the past and continued in the past, also ended with a defined point of time. Here, after waiting there for more than 2 hours, here the duration is included, right? So same goes on with the past tense and present tense. Here I have given examples and the short definition when we will use simple past and past continuous. So look at the simple past first. Talks about an action that has already taken place. Example: she wrote an article on COVID-19. Okay, so past continuous refers to an action that was going on for a certain period of time in the past. So the example: she was writing the test till the last minute. Next, simple past shows that something was true for some time in the past. Something was true for some time in the past. Example: she rode to school until a few years ago. Here, ride, the past form, the main base form of ride, and the past form is rode. And here, past continuous shows that something happened while another action was still going on. My dad arrived while I was doing my homework. So the shows that something was happened and while the action was still going on in the past. Okay, so the last one shows a series of completed action in the past. He applied a fresh coat of paint and allowed it to dry. And in past continuous shows change or growth. It will show you a growth, a certain growth. Example: she was learning many new thing at school. She was learning many new thing at school. It was a growth, right? It was a change of her. Okay, so simple past versus past perfect tense. Here, when one event happens before another event in the past. I will repeat it again. When one event happened before another event in the past. In the past, two events happen. So one will happen before. So where one event, the first event will take place, we will write in past perfect tense. And the other one we will use simple past. Look at the example. I had lived in Bangladesh before I came to the USA. Here, if I told you to draw a timeline, I have drawn already. See the timeline. This is a timeline. Just suppose that. Here, look at the screen, the timeline, and here, this happened before it happened. Okay, so the first event took place here. I have lived in Bangladesh before I came to USA. This is down, right? In the past, I came in USA. Okay, so let's move on to simple past versus past perfect continuous. Here, when one event that started before and another event in the past, the same thing, but here first event will be continuous tense. Continue. The first event will be continuing. Here, I had been traveling before I met her. I had been traveling before I met her. Here, look at the timeline. Here, the first event was in continuous in the past. So we have used here past perfect continuous, and the last one will be in simple past. So this is it, everyone. Thank you for your attention. I hope you will be all fine. Take care of yourself. Bye.